you so much for joining us. This is your host, Iram Saeed, with the Global Tel Summit series From Heartache to Joy. Super excited to be introducing our special guest today, Lynn Waldrop. I was introduced to Lynn a few months ago, and actually she interviewed me on her radio show as she was interviewing Tel Summit hosts. And we got to become friends, and she worked on me, as some of you will read in the testimonial. She is a phenomenal energy healer and energy practitioner. And when she worked on me, I'll talk about that in the call also, what a fascinating experience that was. And I told her I had to have her on my show because it's not every day that we find someone that has these kinds of results, very accurate and almost with 100% track record when she's working on your body. I interview so many people on this Tel Summit, as you guys know. This is one of the Tel Summits that's live every day, 5 days a week. So I have interviewed hundreds of people that are just amazing from around the globe. And we do all kinds of stuff from, of course, removing emotional blocks, financial blocks, health issues, all those kinds of things. But the one area where it seems we are still needing really good experts that have proven track record is, of course, the area of physical ailments, physical dis-ease, any kind of pain. So many of my listeners, I know you guys have a lot of chronic issues that you have been trying to resolve, and you come to this show, you listen to different healers, and some of you have received some gifts of healing and have been able to relieve some of the issues. But I can tell you, this is going to be an amazing experience today because Lynn is really just in a league of her own. Her clearings are profound. And when she dives into your body, which is literally what she does, energetically, when she dives into your body, she is able to see things that are actually at the root cause of whatever it is that is causing those symptoms to appear. So this is not like what medical science does, which is just the treatment of symptoms. But this is where she will go to the root cause of the energetic imbalance, and majority of times she's able to clear the balance. She's able to adjust the frequency right there and then, and it's all done in a very gentle way, energetically. 99% of the people she works with actually can feel the energy moving. Lynn was on another call with me with a few of my students, and we just did some sample exercises, and they could not believe. They actually felt Lynn's hands on their body, and it was just phenomenal, although, of course, they were just on the phone. And then the pain was gone. So it's just really, it's going to be an amazing show today, and I encourage you guys to be on the phone line so that you can call in and be in the queue to get a chance to work with Lynn if you're one of the lucky ones that get chosen. And the way to do that would be to press *2. Once you call in, press *2, and that will raise your hand, and that will place you in the queue. Just really an amazing opportunity for some of you people that have had chronic issues to really get rid of them. I have to make a disclaimer here, which is if you have any kind of medical condition and you're working with a medical practitioner, please do not stop any of those medications. This is not medical advice, of course. So, use your judgment. All right, just a little bit of background on Lynn Waldrop. She is a medical intuitive. She is also known as the body channel because she channels information straight from your body. And she energetically dives into each of the body systems of her clients, such as the nervous system, the digestive system, the organs, etc. The body talks to her, showing her areas of dis-ease and the means to change it while she is in there. So how cool is that? The body is using its own wisdom and guiding Lynn to tell you exactly what it needs. Beautiful. Lynn is a certified color therapy and tuning fork master, Reiki master, and certified access consciousness facilitator, and a 3-day body class facilitator. Something is wrong with my tongue today. I apologize. Lynn empowers her clients to create and generate change in their own life and body. Life is like Play-Doh. If you don't like what you have created, laugh at it, smash it, and create something new. Awesome. Let's do that today with Lynn. Thank you so much for joining us, Lynn. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, this is going to be so much fun. I have been so excited about this call. I couldn't wait to introduce you to the telesummit world, especially to listeners from Heartache to Joy, because as I told you, Lynn, when I first talked to you, this is just going to be a smashing hit and something that people really need. We need this so badly because your talent is just amazing. I would love for you to start with your story, with your personal journey. How did you find out you had this gift? How did you start using it? Tell us a little bit about that.
My whole life I saw entities. I was always the person people went to when someone was sick. I'd be a little kid and somebody in the family would get sick and they'd always call me over to put my hands on them. So I guess this is just something that I brought in with me this lifetime. But this specific technique that we're going to use today actually started about 20 years ago for me. A friend of mine, her grandmother had fallen ill and was in a coma in Pennsylvania. And she knew I had done a bunch of psychic readings and kind of dabbled and played. And she said, can you do anything to help Baba, was what she called her grandmother. And so I went in and meditated, and all of a sudden I found myself in the hospital room with her. And we were just communicating telepathically, and I said, well, Baba, can I see what's wrong with you? They're really upset, and they'd like to know how to help you. And she said, yeah, and instantly she took a breath, and it was like I vaporized and dove right in her mouth and went through one system, and then would jump back out and dive back in and go through another system and come back out. And when we were done, I said, thank you so much, and all of a sudden I woke up in my house in Atlanta, Georgia, 700 and something miles away, and I went, okay, so what information do I have? And I had written down all this different information, and amongst it was the two problems that her body was having, and I really knew nothing about what these words meant. I even got 2 tests that she was supposed to have run that would confirm the diagnosis. So I told Carrie that information, and she said, well, how am I supposed to talk the doctors into running these tests? And I said, well, I already did my job. That one's your job. So they talked the doctors into it, and the doctors confirmed everything. Unfortunately, Baba still was choosing to leave, and it was too late to really do anything about it. But the whole thing pretty much kind of freaked me out. So it's just been kind of a journey since then to how do I talk more with bodies, what else can I create with bodies, and really kind of fine-tuning all of this.
Wow. Amazing. This is just such an amazing story, and I know that the testimonials you have received from people that you have worked with are just equally amazing. The results are just incredible, and actually it is some of your previous clients or people that you have worked with were kind enough to actually be on the show today and talk to our listeners and talk about their experience. So I'm going to unmute one of them, which is Rhonda. She's actually a healer herself, so that's a great testimonial. So, Rhonda, are you there? Hi.
Hey, I'm
Rhonda.
here. Hi.
Hey. You wanted to share your experience?
Yes.
I mean, tell us about it, please.
It was amazing. I'm so alternative myself with the healing thing. I don't go to doctors. I'm like, I was amazed when I got this reading from Lynn, and she dove right in, and she knew things that, she was saying things about my eyes. She didn't know that I'd had surgery, at a year and a half old, and that my left eye had been operated on, and she saw stuff that they didn't reconnect in my brain. That was amazing, and then she saw this little being under my above my sinuses in my right eye, and I'd had this little knot that kept swelling. Of course, I didn't tell her this, because I was so fascinated with what she was saying, and it kind of went really quickly. But there was this little swollen place on the side of my nose where I wear my glasses, but not kind of above my sinus, and it kept reoccurring, and I would always touch that thing and say, what the heck is that, And she said, well, there's this little being, you know, in your upper sinuses. You know, you want me to get rid of that? I said, well, heck yeah. And, you know, and that's been a great relief. I can still feel a little pressure in my right eye, but I don't feel it like I did. And I've always been an extremely right-brain person all my life, you know. And so then she went through my systems, you know. She saw, now I knew in a past life that I had injuries to my legs. She didn't know that. We didn't discuss anything. And she said, well, it looked like somebody, you know, had literally cut you off at the knees. And I was like, wow, this is really good. She can see this because, I mean, I had cleared a lot of that trauma, but the line that she addressed, I've just kind of been with that, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, well, and I've always been very, you know, athletic and a dancer and, oh my, you know, and I'm like, and this, you know, this is an old past life, probably a war injury. And so, well, actually, I can remember, I mean, I did work through that past life. That was like, that was something pretty traumatic. But anyway, and then she went through all my systems, and
yeah, that's pretty remarkable how she does that.
Yeah, and something about my my thymus. I mean, yeah, my thymus. She said it was operating like a teenager. She said it was very rare. She had done thousands of readings, and very seldom she had run across this, that it still produces T cells like I was a teenager. And I told her, I said, well, you know, I want to live to be way past 100, so this is good news. And so, you know, and there was just so many other little things, and I just, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it just felt really great, really, really great. And I felt very, you know, a shift.
Beautiful.
In all those little
Thank you
little
so
ways.
much. Rhonda, thank you so much. This was really amazing. We have to move on, but I really appreciate your feedback.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Rhonda.
All right, take care. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that we have heard from so many others as well that have worked with you, Lynn. And I'll share my experience really quickly. The first time that you worked on me, I was just feeling a little bit low in energy. I don't really have any major issues with my health, thank God. You didn't know that, though. And when you dove in, the first thing you said was, what's up with that gallbladder? And you mentioned something like you don't see it or the energy is not there or something. And that is the one organ that had been malfunctioning, and I got it removed, I think it was 12 years ago, I think. I don't have a gallbladder. So that was the first thing that you picked up on. And then you just went through my systems and you said, no, everything else is fine. All the other, I think somebody else is unmuted. And then you basically said, you know, everything else looks good, Iram. This is the only one. And then you just basically did a detox for me, and that was the cause of the low energy. And that was just, I mean, within minutes after that, I was feeling great. So that was my experience, and it was phenomenal. So that's just really cool. Can you share a little bit with our listeners, maybe give a little bit of detail? I know you can't really explain how it is you do what you do. It's a natural gift for you. But can you tell us a little bit exactly, you know, what's going on and in the body that you are able to see that others probably can't?
When I dive in, it's kind of like there was a movie in the 80s where I think it was Patrick Swayze was in this little machine and he got shrunk to like the size of a pill. And that's kind of what happens. Literally, I dive in whatever size I need to be to pass through whatever I'm moving through is kind of what I am. And so I'll go in and literally do some, and your body will tell me what exactly is required to change whatever it is. So everybody's body is different. So sometimes some people will have, you know, the same version of what this is, and other times I'll get something completely different to change it. But like a colon clean out, it's almost like I'm literally going through there with, you know, brushes and, you know, demolition equipment and pulling stuff off the walls to remove it. And sometimes we just dissipate it energetically, and sometimes it actually has to be eliminated. So each person the way it looks for me can be very different. People will tell me that when they're receiving it, usually the energy moves very fast. So I'll just be ping-ponging all over the insides of their bodies very quickly. And that's usually the thing that they can feel the most, because I'm just jumping around. So people say, well, I felt you in my brain, and then down in my feet, and then in my gut, and then over here, because the energy is just moving so quickly. But each process can be completely different. Some of the ones that I love to do is an alkalinity bath to raise the pH of your body. Some of them is just a frequency bath. So it's all different. And it's all using the consciousness of your body. So I'm not really doing anything. Your body is telling me what to do so that it can change.
So, Lynn, what are the different, give us some examples. What are the conditions that you can work on? So, in other words, as our listeners are listening to you and wondering, can she help me with my problem, which is XYZ, what are some of the conditions that you can help with, or is it pretty much anything related?
Yeah, I've worked on pretty much everything, and I am certainly game to try. In fact, on my last radio show a couple weeks ago, somebody said, hey, will you work on my horse? And I hadn't worked on animals before, and that was an amazing feeling to work on the horse. So it can work on just about anything. But what I've really found from doing all the bodies that I've worked on is that pretty much everybody has like 5 problems, and that's why I created the package that I did, because if we can get rid of yeast and fungus, if we can get rid of inflammation, if we can get rid of your colon impacted backup, if we can get rid of things like these, that pretty much everybody has all these toxins, and if we can balance your hormones, if we can work on those 5 things, your body can pretty much change anything after that point, because all disease really starts with one of those 5 things or a combination of those 5 things.
And there's no treatment for that in the medical, in the allopathic medicine, which is why this is so remarkable. I just love what you're talking about, especially now, Lynn, because there's so much awareness around GMOs and all these different types of foods, and unfortunately here in the U.S. we happen to be in some of the worst markets of the world, where hardly even the organic food that we're supposedly buying organic is not really that healthy, and you have to be so careful. And what if you could actually take something like this that you have, and I know you created an awesome package which people can just listen to and energetically cleanse out their bodies. How awesome to have something like that where you are, if you can't help it and you're eating all those things, you can still get the cleansing, the benefits of the cleansing, and let the body's wisdom take over. I have another one of your clients on the line here, and I'm going to unmute. I tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Her name is Leigh, L-E-I-G-H, Leigh? Am I saying it right? Okay, you're unmuted.
Hello, it's Lee. It's like Vivian Lee.
Vivian Lee. Okay, Lee, awesome. Yes. So you worked with Lynn and you had a great experience?
I did, actually. You actually got the intuitive message to put me on, because I'm a good example for what Lynn can work on. My father actually had yellow fever and hepatitis B, so I inherited like the markers for that. So when I go to a doctor and have some sort of blood panel, they flip out because they think I have hepatitis. So after working with Lynn, because she found different issues with my liver and balanced the liver and cleaned out a bunch of gunk in my digestive system, I actually went and had a blood panel week before last, and there were none of the markers for like high enzymes, bilirubin. The bilirubin was normal or below normal. And anybody that has anything to do with liver, they know what bilirubin is.
Yeah, I do. My mom is actually suffering from liver tumor because of hepatitis B. So, wow.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
So
that is incredible.
Truly, it is. And the other thing I'll tell you, and this is just for the girls, Lynn does this thing with your body where she tightens tissues. I've lost about 35 pounds in about the last 6 months, so I've had a little bit of an issue with loose skin. And I'm fair skinned, so my skin is not quite as thick as other people. And my skin has tightened up a whole lot, and my breasts have actually gotten bigger.
Okay, I'm signing up.
I have to, Rob, I got to tell you, that if anybody knows me, I'm a little robust in that area, and when I work on people, that has a tendency to come out in others as well.
It really does.
Oh,
this lady said to me today, she said, honey, you have boobs. I'm like, well, yes, I always have had boobs, because, like, I'm a size C. I'm like a C cup. But she said, you have boobs, and I'm like, yeah, I have to go adjust my bra now.
Oh my God, that is awesome!
I know, isn't it?
As a side effect. Wow.
Yes, truly.
That is cool. That is so awesome, Lee. That is awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's
sure, you're
awesome.
welcome. Glad to be here. Y'all enjoy your talk.
I'm so glad you had such a great result
Lee.
with it. I'm so glad. Yeah, because that's a huge, huge relief to not have those markers anymore. My mom.
Yes.
Been dealing with it for 20 years, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And once you have them, you really don't ever get rid of them. So that's just
that's what medical science says. But
that's
see,
what medical science says. Yes.
Yes, and I also had a marker of what they call an STD, which is like one of the herpes variations. There's no longer any of that either. Like, I don't have any of that that virus left either.
Wow, that makes me so excited for you. That's awesome. I love it. Love it. Thank you. All right, dear. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
That is so cool. I am so thrilled. And, I mean, these exactly are the kind of results that got me so excited to bring you on board and, introduce you to the world, because this is a gift that really needs to be shared. This is truly amazing, and I can't even imagine how many people are going to be able to benefit. Lynn, I can tell you one thing, that you won't have much free time after this show. So what I want to do now is I would love to actually talk to one of our callers and see if you can demonstrate. And it'll have to be quick. Usually you take, about an hour to work with someone, right?
Yeah, I can do shorter ones, though.
Yeah, so we'll need to do like quick demos, maybe 5 to 7 minutes max. And one issue, or actually you can dive into the body and see what issue needs to be addressed, however you want to take it. But about 5 to 7 minutes, because I would love for you to work with a number of people. So we have a huge line. We have a huge queue waiting to talk to you. Can you pick a number between 1 and 60, please?
7.
Number 7. Oh, my screen just froze. Give me 1 second. Number 7 is 703 area code.
Hello.
Hi there. What's your name?
This is Virginia.
Virginia. Awesome. Do you have a particular dis-ease or discomfort you want to address with Lynn?
Well, in particular, I suffered a spinal cord injury years ago, and it's just the spinal cord is crushed and has some scar tissue on it at the C6, C7 level, and I have a lot of pain, nerve pain. My hands burn and feels like I'm walking on a bed of hot nails, and this is chronic, as well as some difficulty moving. That's the major issue.
Lynn, do you want to take over? Do you want to?
Sure. Hi, Virginia. How are you?
Hi, Lynn.
All right, so I'm going to dive in. You ready?
Ready.
All right, so when I dive in, actually your body takes me down to your lumbar area first rather than just C6, and this is very common. Sometimes the body will take me places other than that and kind of keep moving upstream. So I'm actually down at L4. We're going to adjust that one first. And basically what I'm doing is kind of revving up the spinal cord, because what I'm trying to do is make sure that all of the nerves that are coming off that spinal cord are all functioning properly. We want to stimulate all of those. I'm up to about chest
While,
level.
and I was just going to say, while Lynn is working on it, let us know if you feel anything, if you feel energy moving. Because sometimes people do.
And so moving up into the neck area now where C6 and C7 is. And so I'm going to start working on the scar tissue that's in there. And I'm also webbing those nerves that are going down the arms and into the hands. All right, so those C6 and C7 have gone in now. I'm going to keep moving up. Do you feel any tingling in your hands now?
It actually feels a little better. I feel my thumb touching my fingers as opposed to striking pains. That's nice. When you said something about the scar tissue, I kind of got a little lightheaded after that. I think, really feeling some energy move.
Part of that is because of the pressure that it's putting on the spine. It doesn't allow for the cerebrospinal fluid and stuff to go to the brain, more blood, more spinal fluid. And so when all of a sudden that rush goes up to the brain because that gets opened up, a lot of times it'll make you feel a little lightheaded like that. So that should go away here in just a minute. So I'm moving up into the brain now. So with the severity of this injury, are you in a wheelchair or are you walking?
No, I can walk. Just
because I'm revving up these nerves because there's a lot of, down at L4 there was a lot pinching off in the legs. So if you have any hip or lower back problems, that's why. And kind of what it's showing me is that those nerves really aren't, how do I say this, the trigger in the brain for how the nerves work whenever you had this trauma wasn't necessarily working correctly. So we're going to change the mechanism in the brain that will allow this functionality to work better for you. And you said you were having a little bit of a hard time kind of with movement, and that should help to alleviate that, okay?
Virginia, are you there? Oh, looks like
did we lose
we
her?
lost Virginia. Yeah, it looks like she may have dropped the call. Okay, so let's see if we can quickly unmute another caller. Can you pick another number for me, please, between 1 and 60?
Sure. 42.
Okay, let's go to number 42. And 609 area code. Maureen, I think, is the first name.
Oh my gosh, this is so great. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you, Lynn.
Oh, you're welcome. Awesome.
Good to talk to you.
What's your problem, dear? What's bothering you?
I'm actually pretty healthy. I don't have a problem. I just would like a check-in, like in the breast area and then the colon area. I'm doing a detox right now, and I have a little bit of pressure in the left side, like if I have to eliminate, and it's just, I think it's part of the detox, but I just wanted to see if Lynn could just scan and see.
We are keeping the call today for people that have like chronic issues that are really serious. Now that we've unmuted you, maybe Lynn can just do a quick hit, but we really request from everybody to actually, if you have a chronic issue, to, kind of let people with chronic issues get a chance so that they get some relief. But Lynn, if you want to do just a quick hit to see if you can answer Maureen's question, and we'll move on.
Sure. Colon is very impacted, Maureen. So a lot of times the problem with even with the herbal detoxes is they get off a layer, but literally people have impacted fecal matter for 5 or 10 years in the colon, and it almost becomes like concrete. That's what the problem is. So I'm going to go through there pretty quickly. Yours is more down in the large intestine, which is why you're feeling it on that left side, than the small intestine. So I'm just going to quickly go through there.
And you can also, Maureen, when we talk about Lynn's offer, this is in her package, so you can take advantage of that as well. It's really awesome. She's done it for me, and it was amazing.
And if you do the colon cleanup that's in the package, like the first time I actually recorded this, I was in the restroom for 7 to 10 times the next day. And it was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much I needed to clean out.
Yeah, cool.
And a lot of people feel that if they have chronic diarrhea, that's the last thing that they need, but actually that is the thing that they require, because it literally is creating such a small way of elimination that the only way that they can is to have diarrhea. So don't think that if I have diarrhea, the last thing I need is a colon clean out, okay? And I'm working the whole time I'm talking.
Thank you.
So even though you thought you didn't have any issues, you did. I think this is something we all have because of...
Well, that's the whole thing about the energetic. Like, you could feel great, but there could be something underneath. And, you know, when someone else can visually see that for you, I totally appreciate that. So we can be feeling wonderful, but there could be something hidden, like she just pointed that out. And so I appreciate your time, Lynn. I'm very gracious. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just so everybody knows, when you have all this impacted fecal matter, and the problem is it releases toxins to the rest of your body. So just like you have chemical toxins, heavy metals, and everything else, your own body is putting off these toxins just because of this. So this is a really important thing that people understand and get a handle on in their own bodies. All right, so most of it has been moved down to what they call the sigmoid colon, so it is ready for elimination. I pulled a bunch out energetically. So hopefully you won't have to do 7 to 10 like I did.
Did you feel anything, Maureen? Did you feel any energy moving?
Yes, I felt it's almost like a lift. Like I just felt like this opening, and I felt that the pressure that was there has lightened up. So I just feel like I'm going to be moving stuff.
Cool, cool. Awesome.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Drink lots of water. Remember to drink lots of water.
Yes,
okay?
Yes. Yes,
beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Keep us posted, please. I can't wait to hear about the results, because after my cleanse that Lynn did, I have shrunk. So I feel awesome. Wow, the queue is just growing and growing, so this is really amazing. I can't even go look at the questions that are coming in from the webcast, because we have so much going on. Just on the phone lines, and we do need you to be on the phone line to interact with Lynn, because she will need to work on your body. So this is just amazing today. This is just fabulous. Okay, so let's see if maybe we can talk to one more person, then I want to ask you some questions. We'll continue to work with people because, as you can see, this is moving quite fast. Lynn can actually move energy quite fast. Okay, so again, I want to request you guys, if you have a chronic issue, to be on the phone line with your hand raised, and give other people a chance that do have serious chronic issues to get a chance to work with Lynn today. And you do that by pressing *2. That'll raise your hand. Okay, so pick another number for me, please. We're still doing 1 to 60.
25.
All right, 25 is, hey, that's another Lee, but not the Lee that we talked to. 217 area code? Do I have the same person, or?
Hello.
Hi.
No.
Hello.
Hi. No, this is a new person, and
awesome.
And actually, my name is Bernadine.
Oh, so instead of incorrect ID then. Okay, Bernadine, how can we help you?
Well, I've had rheumatoid arthritis for years, for many, many years, and have done a lot of, energy work and whatever. And I do have some deformity in my right hand, and I've also had corrective surgery on both my feet. And so anything that, can help me, I'd certainly appreciate it so much.
All right, Bernadine, ready?
Yes.
All right, so as I dive in, your body's already screaming about your endocrine system. So one of the things that happens with arthritis and a lot of other diseases is it's an autoimmune, and your thymus is overactive. So it's kind of like the body is attacking itself, thinking itself is a virus or a bacteria or whatever. So we're going to go in and adjust your endocrine system and see what we pick up, okay?
Sure, great.
So we're going to go to the pineal first, the pituitary. Okay, and the pituitary is not on, and one of the problems that this causes is a lot of people that come with thyroid problems or anything that's lower on the endocrine list, there isn't a way for medical doctors to check your pituitary to see if it's working. But it's like the traffic cop of your whole entire endocrine system, and if it's not working, nothing downstream can work either. So a lot of people that have thyroid problems really don't have a thyroid problem. It's really a pituitary problem. So we definitely want to make sure we have this guy working correctly. And the problem with the pituitary is it can calcify somewhat. Fluoride and all those kinds of things can calcify it, so we've got some calcification going on in there. We're going to clean that out, make it nice and supple so it can stay working correctly. All right, we're going to move down to the thyroid. Your thyroid's in a little bit of overdrive too. It's like most of your endocrine system is all ramped up and amped up because the pituitary isn't functioning. So all the other organs think that they have to work double time to make up for the pituitary. So we're going to calm all the rest of them down and then pump up the pituitary so that everything can work nice and smoothly. Your body doesn't have to work so hard.
Great.
There's also something called the parathyroid sitting on top of your thyroid. It's technically not a part of the endocrine system, but it runs your whole entire calcium production in the body. And a lot of times with arthritis and other things, it's overproduction of calcium. So we're going to make sure that that is tuned up correctly so it is not overproducing. And what will happen when that gets balanced out, excuse me, is if it creates calcifications in the body, once it's balanced, it will actually suck those back in and push it out as good bone. So if people have bone spurs, heel spurs, neck spurs, things like that, it literally will suck them back in. So we're going to tune the parathyroid up while we're in there. And now we're going to go down to that thymus. And just tell it to calm down. We're going to give it a frequency bath is what I call this one. Because every organ in the body, and scientifically they've proven this, has its own frequency. And as long as it is at the correct frequency, then it's the frequency of health. So if we can change the frequency when it's sick back to the frequency of health, then guess what? You don't have to have problems in that organ anymore. So I do a frequency bath to adjust where it's at, calm it down. So now we're going to move down to the pancreas. Down to the ovaries. And then up to the adrenals. And I want to also go, I'm going to start at the top of your head, and I'm going to do what I call an alkalinity bath, an alkalinity wash. I'm going to just wash this energy over you, and especially in the joints, because all disease basically is where the pH is not correct in the body. It has become more acidic in that area. So we want to raise the pH back up to what your body's pH. Most is around 7.35. So we just want to wash this through every cell in your body, really concentrating on all those joints, though. The joints in the spine as well. Moving down those arms. And everywhere where anybody out there listening is going, oh, I can't interfere, I can't enjoy this wonderful, yummy stuff myself, throw that out the door. This is working on anybody that's listening. So if you're willing to receive it now. So as I'm moving down into those wrists and the hands, calming all those nerves as well. The nerves are kind of ready to fire at any second in those hands. I'm just going to calm those down. Moving down the back and down the chest with the alkalinity wash. Moving down into the hips, down into the legs, the knees, the ankles, and into the feet. And a lot of scar tissue in there from that surgery, so we're going to pull out some of that scar tissue while we're here.
Thank you.
Scar tissue can get hard and calcify, and almost it's almost like concrete in some people's bodies, and can really cause a lot of damage in terms of movement. So we're going to pull that out. And one more thing, I want to go through that nervous system because, again, your nerves are just ready to fire at any second. I want to calm all of them down. So I'm going to go up the spine, starting at the bottom. Just sending a nice, calm frequency bath over all the nerves. This is like resetting the nitric oxide pump in the body, just allowing it to be stress-free. One of the ones that might be great for you is the Stress-Free Me program that's in the package, because it really just helps to let every cell in the body calm down. Keep moving up that spine. And all the way up into the brain.
This feels great, by the way. I'm loving it.
How are those hands feeling, Bernadine?
It's actually feeling a little restrictive right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension in there.
But during, I've experienced waves of energy movement throughout my body as you were doing all these processes, and also a lot of sadness at different points.
Yeah.
And I'm experiencing some of that sadness now.
Let's do there's another one in there called the Mind Detox. Let's do one that is for the sadness and the grief and whatever the thought, feeling, or emotion is that actually created this for you, because your thoughts, feelings, and emotions create everything in your body. And then we store that information in the cells, and then that actually keeps us running from that programming. So let's do a thought, feeling, and emotion on grief and sadness and whatever that was that you created this with. And as I come over the top of your head and move down, we're going to go through every cell of your body, cleaning all of that out. And so everywhere where you're holding on to that so tight in those hands, will you just loosen up those hands as I come down the arms now. That's it. That's it. Just let it go. Out of every cell, especially in those hands. Moving down the chest, down into the abdomen. Letting every cell release whatever it wants to get out of there. Down into the hips and the legs, the thighs, the knees, the calves, and out those feet.
Mm.
A lot of that, I feel a lot of that pressure out of the hands now. How are your hands doing now?
Yes, it does feel, it is feeling looser. But there was a lot of energy movement when you started on the top of my head. And, took like 3 different waves of it or whatever through my body.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
And you know what's cool, Doreen? You opened up this space for so many people. There's the webcast is getting flooded with comments. How many people are feeling this this energy? This is just so amazing. So as you were receiving the healing, so many other people did too. And I just want to reiterate what Lynn said. All you have to do is set your intention to receive all this beautiful healing energy that Lynn is. While she's working on someone on the live call, you can receive it too. And if you missed the previous ones, you just have to listen to the replay and you'll receive it. This is just such an awesome gift. So thank you so much for holding this space for everybody and for your courage. This was phenomenal. I'm so glad you're feeling relief.
Thank you, Bernadine.
Well, thank you so very much. I also have some bladder issues. So I don't know if
we have to move on, sweetheart, because we want to help as many people as we can. I would encourage you to take advantage of Lynn's offer because it's really very reasonably priced, and we'll talk about it in just a minute.
Yeah,
but,
thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. I feel totally, I do feel a totally, shifting or balance within my entire system now. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Well, keep in touch and let us know how you're doing.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you.
Do. Mm-hmm. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes as I see these transformations taking place because I know, when you have suffered for such a long time, what a huge relief it can be. And imagine, this was 5 to 7 minutes. And this is what excites me, the new frontier in medicine. This is so exciting. Imagine years and years of taking pills and treatments and tests and abusing your body with all those chemicals. And here you have such a beautiful way, such an organic, holistic way, which is also quick. It's fast. And, I still have waves of energy moving through my body, Lynn. It's still moving. This one was just powerful.
It just keeps moving. And truthfully, there's a lot of times the bodies will kind of contact me afterwards and say, hey, this just a couple days later, hey, can I have this? Hey, can I do this? And I'll just have bodies that just ping me all over the universe just saying, hey, can you just do this one little thing for me? It's kind of like once the bodies know that you're willing to listen to them, and you guys all have the capacity to talk with your body and for your body to give you information, even if it's as simple as what would make it feel so good today if you would eat that one thing. What vitamin, instead of taking a pill, what could you eat today that would give you that one thing that it requires to change everything in your body?
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to ask some questions also because I don't want to leave our webcast listeners feeling neglected. There's just so many people, and we can help so many people that I'm a bit overwhelmed today. So rheumatoid arthritis, somebody wrote again. She just did some treatments for arthritis, so you're welcome to go back and listen to the replay. And again, Jimena said, I set my intention to receive as Lynn worked on the endocrine system. I could feel the energy working in each organ. This is just so awesome. Great. I'm glad you did that, and I'm going to advise others to do the same thing. All you have to do is set your intention to receive, and you will receive this energy. As Lynn said, can you please check on my son Ben's pancreas? Please ask Ben to call in if he's available, and then give me his number. I'll try to unmute him and see if he can talk to Lynn. But so I'm gonna read you some of the problems, Lynn, and if you can give short answers on, okay, can you help with this or not? Somebody wants to know she's very scared because she has large lumps in her breast. Also has thyroid issues and blood clots inside of her brain, the left side. I also have polyneuropathy in my spine. Can this person be helped?
A lot of times it's simpler than you think. I do a clean out of the circulatory system, and that's usually pretty easily done. Lumps in the breast are very easy to shrink, and a lot of times I may give information about if there's a deficiency in the body, such as iodine deficiency. A lot of times is a cause for fibroids or different types of lumps in the breast. So again, I haven't worked on all three of those issues together in anybody yet, but I haven't really found anybody that didn't benefit from change in this process.
Yeah, exactly. And I will even say this is one of the most remarkable things, and it has never happened before, Lynn, that you were brand new to the Telesummit world, had never been introduced to my tribe, and people were jumping on your special offer. As I told you, that we had packages being sold even before, 2 days before the call even started. And during the call, people have been jumping in and taking advantage of this offer. So even though we haven't even talked about it yet, there are some people that just can't wait, and they want to get in and get their session with you. So it is first come, first served basis. We will talk about the offer in just a little bit, but on that page, you can read some of the testimonials and see what other people have experienced. Of course, that's going to be on from heartache2joy.com/Lynn8, LYNN8. And then we will talk about the offer in just a minute, but I wanted to go over some of the issues that people have listed so that Lynn can answer that. Somebody else wants to know if you can help with the intestines. I can answer that right now. Yes, she absolutely can, because I've myself experienced it, and I know others that have. Then dermatitis. Yes, you can read those testimonials. Also, any kind of skin rash. She's really been very effective in that. Okay, spinal issues. We just went through that a little while ago. Colon. Virginia had written that a lot of people's colons are impacted. Is the energy working on everybody? So yeah, we went over that too. That was one frequency clearing that you all need anyway. I think everybody can benefit from it when she was working on colons and releasing some of that fecal matter and stuff. That's great for everybody. We all need that. And I have ED and, I'm sorry if I just butchered this, but plantar fasciitis. Don't know what that is. But
plantar fasciitis is usually very easily to change. In fact, I just worked on Maya the other day, and I have several other clients that I've worked on.
Yeah, she has that testimonial. Maya's testimonial's on that page too. Yeah. Okay, so that's what she had. Okay.
And ED is generally, unless there's an actual physical problem, is very easy. ED is basically that nitric oxide pump that I was talking about that gets turned on in the cells. So it's literally like the cells are constantly stressed out. And that's why I did the stress-free me, because when you get stressed, it's one thing, but you have no idea, or most people don't, what that stress is doing to the body. And ED is one of those things that is a result for a lot of males when their body is just stressed out, literally on the cellular level.
Okay, thank you for answering that. How about people that have multiple chemical sensitivities, and I would even throw in food sensitivities in that. Is that being also caused because of all those toxins that the body is creating with, being impacted?
It can be. It can also be the digestive system, the way it's breaking the food down, or it can also be the thymus again in terms of overactivity. So it can be a lot of different things in different people.
Well, this one breaks my heart. I'm going to try to shorten this comment and read it to you. And just let us know if you can help this person. She is saying, I have been diagnosed with so many things and over 20 surgeries, etc., and doctors have no idea what to do with me. Well, that's pretty typical. I love what you're saying. This is amazing. If I can work with Lynn, I'm going through so many treatments like scurvy, malnutrition, so many parts have been removed. Osteomalacia, thyroid and multiple chemical sensitivities, allergic to everything, spinal issues, and every part of my body has issues. Doctors say I'm dying, and I am committed to healing myself. Potential surgery is coming up, and I don't want to have surgery.
So your body's already talking to me. Do you want me to talk about it a little bit, Yvonne?
Please do. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, please.
Yeah, sometimes just having a conversation, the bodies already start screaming. And so this is kind of like being allergic to your own body. And so it's like being at war with your own body. So there's a lot of things that your body is telling you we can do to assist some of this. But another point is you also have to choose that I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be in this body. Because a lot of people would just rather not. They would just rather go, you know what, there's too much pain in here, it'd just be easier to go. But they don't feel like they have permission to go. So they just stick around in their pain. So sometimes it's literally, you got to choose to be in this body. And if you choose to be in this body, then we can do everything and anything to change it.
So Jen, I request you to give Lynn a chance, because I can tell you, I vouch for her. Her work is really amazing. So give yourself a chance by working with Lynn, because my heart goes out to you, sweetheart. More questions. Seizures and sleep apnea. Can you help with that?
Most of the stuff in the brain is pretty easy to change. I'd have to look and see what exactly is causing it. The first thing that's coming to my mind is heavy metals right now, is what this body is kind of talking to me. And heavy metals are easy to change. There's, in fact, in the toxin detox package, we go through getting rid of a lot of heavy metals. And it's a very common problem for people. And sometimes they're very odd. And it can be heavy metals or it can even be chemicals. I had a lady I worked on a while ago who she was having a particular problem in the brain, and her body was screaming ammonium nitrate. And so sometimes I have to literally look up and Google what are these things that their bodies are telling me. So I looked up ammonium nitrate, and it was fertilizer. And I said, so are you getting into contact with a lot of fertilizer? And she was in the Midwest, but she went, oh, no, no, no. I work at a GMO, a non-GMO organic farm, and her body started yelling at me, no, she doesn't. That's what they're telling her, but that's not a truth. So even when you think you're buying organic or non-GMO or whatever, you need to ask some questions if that's truly what you're choosing, because I'm not sure that that's being as regulated as what we think it's being. So you might want to ask your body, yeah, is this really true? If I eat this, does this have the chemicals or the pesticides or whatever? And especially with chemicals or heavy metals, they stay in the body for years. I worked on a guy that it was all kinds of chemical toxins we were getting rid of. And I asked him, I said, you know, have you been around? I mean, this is a lot of chemicals. Have you been around a lot? And he goes, no, not really. And then his wife went, yes, you used to be a pest control guy 20 years ago. And he went, oh, yeah, that's right. And they had stayed in his body for 20 years just wreaking havoc.
Wow. Wow. Whew. That is just, it's scary, but it's also very hopeful because we can get rid of it now. So that's the good news. You can get rid of it very quickly. Okay, so more questions. Fibromyalgia, yes or no?
Fibromyalgia a lot of times is overactive thymus again, and adjustments can change that, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, basically, I mean, it seems like whatever you've got going on, yeah, you can basically get help on that from Lynn. Oh, you know, this is a good one. What about depression? Because that's not really physical in a way, or maybe it is. I don't know. What do you help with? Depression.
Oh, depression. I would go to the Mind Detox program, MP3 that's there, because a lot of depression is just people go, I don't even know why I'm depressed, or it's something that's so old, and it's literally like there's a program in your cells, and because it's literally in your cells, it just keeps regenerating and circulating that program, and you can't ever get out of it until you get it out of the cells.
Beautiful. Okay, lots of questions coming in, Lynn. I'm going to try to get these to you because there are people that are buying the package, want to ask you questions. There are people that are thinking about buying and they want to ask you questions, and we haven't even gone to the sales page yet, but we will, and it's right after this, I promise. If I buy the program, can I use it for depression, food sensitivities, anxiety, IBS? I think that's a yes to all of these. We addressed that already.
Yes.
What is, I'm sorry, I'm going to pronounce it wrong again. Can you help Peyronie's disease, P-E-Y-R-O-N-I-E-S? Do you even know what that is? Peyronie's disease.
You know, I don't know what that is, but I can tell you, you know, I worked on a gentleman with ALS, and I did not know what the specific cause of ALS was. I had heard of ALS. I know it's a debilitating disease, but I didn't scientifically know how it's created in the body. And when I dove in his body, all I saw was like this big spider web in his brain. And literally, I was so excited because it was the first time I did energetic brain surgery, and I went in there and was literally clipping all of these little webs in the way that they went down into his brain, and it was fascinating. And when I was done, I called him and was telling him what I had seen and that I didn't really know, you know, what ALS or what caused it. And he said to me, he said, Lynn, you nailed it. He said, that's exactly how the doctor describes it. It's a spider web that grows over the brain, and they don't know how or why to be able to change it. And it just totally blew me away. So I don't necessarily have to know what the disease is or even what causes it. Again, I'm going to dive in, and your body's just going to show me what's going on.
You know, something just popped into my brain as you were talking about ALS, because I've been kind of annoyed with this trend on Facebook that's going on. Lots of people are taking that ice bucket challenge for ALS. And it bugs me every time, like, you keep taking the challenge, you keep nominating people. How about donating some money? Is anybody doing that, you know, for ALS research and stuff? And all these people are just doing the, do you know what I'm talking about, Lynn? It's like, it's going on.
And over $30 million.
Oh, they have? Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad they've done that. But it's to me, it's like, well, you know, stop throwing water on yourself. Just donate some money. But here's what you guys can do. You can share, once we have the replay up, share that link with people, not just for ALS, with everybody, because this is so helpful. People have, I mean, you've heard people on the live calls that have already been helped, but I mean, I would love to spread this message as much as I can. I can tell you right now that we're going to be running the replay for a while. We're going to try to help as many people as possible. This is just phenomenal. Can herpes 1 and 2 be healed? I encourage you to listen to the replay, because there was a caller that talked about how all signs of herpes were eradicated from her blood results. So listen to that, please. And kidney stones. Ooh, that's a good one. Kidney stones.
Yeah, they're usually pretty easy because a lot of times they're a calcification. And in fact, when you get kidney stones or gallstones, one of the first things doctors will tell you is to stop drinking milk and dairy. And if you recall, we worked on, I think it was Bernadine, and I went and adjusted her parathyroid, and that's where the problem comes in.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So kidney stones is also yes. I'm going to read your comment, see if you can connect with the energy of this person. This is Yule, Y-U-L-E, from Israel. And he's saying, or she's saying, that they have juvenile diabetes and are also blind. Can you help?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've found with some folks that I've worked on that have had diabetes for a long time is when it starts to affect the other organs, we really need to go back and really work on the pancreas, because, again, just like we were talking about in the colon, how that impacted fecal matter will throw off toxins, so does that pancreas. So if it's not functioning properly, or if it's slightly necrotic or has lesions because of the problems with it, then it starts throwing off toxins. So that's really the place that we're going to target first, is changing that pancreas so that it's functioning properly, so that the other things can settle down as well.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Somebody wants to know if they can buy Package B. Again, I need to just go to the sales page and talk about it, but she's already there. She's bought the package, I think, and she wants to know if she buys Package B, can she use the personal session for her daughter? I guess that's okay, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Terrible menstruation pains and infertility problems. Ooh, that's a good one. Thank you for sending that in. Carolina wants to know. Can you feel terrible menstruation pains?
I have not actually worked on infertility yet. Menstruation's easy. That's the endocrine system tuning that up. But I will tell you that I was working on a client of mine, and I kept telling her, by the way, your body really wants to have a baby. You might want to be very careful if you're not planning one right now. So, again, I pick up on different information depending on what your body's wanting. And sometimes it's a negotiation. Sometimes the body doesn't want something, but the being does, you do, or your mind does. And so sometimes it's a negotiation between the two to say, okay, how can we come to an agreement here, guys, on what we're going to do here?
Wow, and Jen wrote in and she said that you were spot on when you were talking about her situation, that some people would rather not be here. She says, that is what I say sometimes, that I would rather be dead and not suffer anymore. Yeah, Jen, you definitely need to work with Lynn.
So my question, Jen, would be, would you be willing to commit to staying here, and let's get together and talk? And if that doesn't work, then you can make your decision. But why not try to have a wonderful, beautiful, healthy body and see how much fun playing in this world is?
Beautiful. Okay, I've had issues with vertigo and probably 20 years now. That shows up every month. Can you help with that? So dizziness and vertigo.
Haven't worked on vertigo before, but interesting that it's on.
Do you want me to read her name? Would that help you if you knew what her name was? Monica. Her name is Monica.
Okay. So there is some imbalance in the nerves in the ear canal, the audio nerve, and also the way that it fires with the brain.
Beautiful. So yeah, so you can talk to Lynn and see if you can move that energy and fix that. Autism and Asperger's or Lyme disease, or also thyroid. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say Lyme's disease. Again, it's a virus that's latent in the body, and it's usually pretty easy with any of the viruses. I have not worked with autism.
Okay.
I will tell you from my point of view and the Access Consciousness point of view is that autism is more of a mutation of the species because they learn so much quicker. They receive information so much quicker. So sometimes having to slow that down for people so that we can communicate better with them is an easy way to deal with it. But in terms of changing it, I have not dealt with that one before. But I'd love to play.
Yeah, beautiful. A lot of people are asking if they can share the package with a family member. Is that okay with you, Lynn? Okay, the only thing I'm going to ask you guys to do to keep the energy in balance when you're doing that is we will give you the link for Lynn's basically newsletter. So make sure that whoever you give access to the package to, that they first sign up with Lynn, and that way they will be receiving her information, and maybe if you can share her, her package information with people on Facebook. That way you are giving back also. There's an even energy exchange. So we'll make sure that you get that link from, in the receipt when you get that. A lot of people are asking about dental issues. A lot of people.
Really?
Gum disease.
What kind of dental issues? Oh, gum disease? Mm-hmm. Nope, we can go in there and clean all that out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Iram, can you please ask if Lynn has worked with people who have scoliosis, if a session would help?
Yes, redoing the nervous system and rebooting parts of the skeletal system. We've had very good luck with changing the C and the S curves. Watched some of them change before my eyes. It's been very interesting.
Okay. Then it was a good one, and I just, this is a good question. Are the results permanent, or how long will the effects last?
You can ask the people that have called in, but for me, they are permanent. The only thing is sometimes we have to go, like, again, I think it was Bernadine, where we did the thought, feelings, and emotions clearing out through the cells. Because, again, if it's our thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are creating everything, if we keep going back to a particular thought, then you can recreate it down the road. But for right now, what you get during that session, that permanency is permanent.
Beautiful. How about bone marrow cancer?
Have not worked on that before. But again, I'm more than willing to work with you.
Okay, beautiful.
One of the things that I don't like to do when people have cancer is I don't generally work with them while they're doing chemo or radiation, because a lot of people, the doctor will put you on different cycles of when they're revving up your immune system and then when they're killing it during that time. And I don't want to do anything that's counterproductive to what doctors are doing. So I, in general, will work with people with cancer if they're choosing to do it in a holistic way or if it's before or after their chemo.
Okay, how about prostate problems? High PSA.
Yeah, no, that's very easy to work with.
Okay, great. Okay, now people are getting mad at me because they want me to go to the special offer page and announce the link. Okay, here we go. All right, Lynn's amazing offer is at from heartache2joy.com /Lynn and then the number 8, LYNN and the number 8. And Lynn is going to explain to us what this amazing package that she has put together for us. And I know a lot of you guys have already jumped in. My email has been blowing up with notifications. I don't know if you could hear the pings, but people are just jumping all over this. So I'm just so thrilled and excited. On the webcast, of course, please press the special offer button. And on the replay also, you will press the special offer button to get to this page. All right, Lynn, please take it from here.
Sure. The package is set up, again, the main 5 that I really would love for people to look at is inflammation elimination, because inflammation is the body's attempt at self-protection. So it's trying to put you into a healing response, and sometimes it gets into overactive mode, which are those autoimmune disorders as well. So clearing out inflammation is number 1. Then yeast. So many people have an overgrowth of yeast and fungus in the body. And so we need to release this yeast. It's not just candida. You'll find it all over the body. So we want to get rid of that as number 2. The third one is toxin detox, because the liver's cleaning the toxins out of the blood. The spleen is filtering it from the recycled blood of the immune system. The kidneys are filtering the blood to create urine. And you're going to find toxins everywhere. In fact, a lot of people that have chronic diarrhea problems or chronic constipation problems, what the bodies have told me is that there is this blood and brain and colon connection. And there's a mechanism in the brain that basically tells the colon how much water to take from the blood to create your stool. And so if it takes too much, you have diarrhea. If it takes not enough, you have constipation. And so if we go in the brain and we just adjust this one little mechanism, then it can change all of that. But what can mess up that mechanism in the brain are parasites or are heavy metals. And so we go in there and we also get rid of all of that so that it can regulate the digestive tract. So what people don't get is how much these things can affect all different parts of their bodies. The colon cleanup, we've mentioned this several times, is there's so much rotting fecal matter in people's colons, and it literally calcifies, or I call it concretizes. It's like concrete in there, and so nothing can move through. Happy hormones. Everybody, when they think of hormones, they all think of their sex hormones. You know, my estrogen or my testosterone, you know, they're all over the TV these days. But there's so much more, because the hormones are actually just the messengers that tell everything in the body what to do. So we talked with someone earlier when we were doing the endocrine system that it's a top-down system. If the pineal and the pituitary aren't working correctly, nothing below that can either. And there's so many things that it affects in the body. The women that we're talking about, PMS and those problems. Menopause is another big one. Thyroid problems is another big one. Overactive thymus and all the autoimmunes is another one. Diabetes, hypoglycemia, all of these things can be changed just by balancing out those hormones. So those 5, to me, if everybody will work on those, it can allow your body to just calm down and pretty much change anything after that. And so the rest of them that are in there are the mind detox. We've talked about this one a couple times as well, because all of these thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are just cluttering your mind, that are going, okay, I'm depressed and I'm angry and I'm all these things, and they just keep blinking like an open sign in your mind. It's time to defrag that and get all that out of your cells, because it's like every cell is now programmed with all that clutter. And so you wake up in the morning and your body just starts running these programs, and you don't know why you're doing these things or why your body is feeling these things. So if we can clean all that out from the cellular level, then it can change everything. Chakra workout, one of my favorites. We're going to go through all the energy centers of the body, and it's a totally different kind of exercise. So it's a great way to delete everything that's in those databases, because they're literally like a database on your computer, and it's a great way to add energy to your day. And then one of my favorites is the Stress-Free Me and the Body Boost. So the Stress-Free Me is literally getting every cell to jump and clap with joy. What does just even the thought of that do to your body? If literally every cell in your body right now were just, yay, and had a wonderful day from that point on. We want the cells of your body giggling and laughing, okay? And the Body Boost is the one that Lee was talking about at the beginning. It's like doing a facelift, breast augmentation, a butt lift, a tummy tuck. We even add in vaginal rejuvenation. One of the biggest things that's out there today, right? And skin tightening and
that's
toning.
Thousands of dollars right there.
And we're doing it in less than 15 minutes. It's really awesome. I had one client who lost 2 dress sizes in 10 minutes after listening to that. So all of those you get, all 9 of those that you get in the $97 pack or $99 package, sorry. And then package 2 is where you add a half-hour personal session with me. And so it's all 9 of those MP3s plus the half-hour personal session, where we're just going to zoom through your body and do whatever's specific to your needs. It'll be recorded so you can play it over for yourself. And how much fun can we create with you and your body?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Lynn, are you there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. So that was package A, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that is package A, and that is at almost 90% off. And we have priced it at $99 instead of $97 because you have the option to use a PayPal credit. So if you can't afford to pay the full $99 right now, try getting approved through PayPal. It's a very easy process, and it gives you 6 months of interest-free payments. You have 6 months to pay them back. It's a really, really good option for most people to use. I'm not sure if it's available outside of the United States, though, but I know it is available in the States. Package B is an upgrade of just $48, and you will get to have a session with Lynn. So if, Lynn, you can explain what happens in the session. You, of course, dive into their body, and it's more personal for their particular issues. But if you can explain, what they can expect during the session, that would be awesome.
We can do the session in one of 2 ways. You can be live on the line, just like we've done with the callers, where you're literally listening in and I'm moving through the body and we're talking and I'm telling you what's going on as we're moving through. Or you can actually do a soundless version where basically we're going to create an appointment, we're going to set up a time, and I'm going to work on you for about 20, 25 minutes, and then we're going to talk afterwards for a few minutes about everything that we did. Some people, the words get in the way for them. And so they would rather just have it be that they lay down and relax and not have the words while they're receiving. And other people like to be really involved and be right there. It works just as well either way. It's just a preference. But just like the callers, you know, you're going to feel me moving around inside your body. I don't really care if you're up and moving. Some people like to move around and don't like to sit still. The only thing I don't want anybody doing while I'm working on them is driving. So I just make sure that, look, while we're working on you, there's no driving involved.
Okay, very good. Some people want to know, they bought the package, they want to know how many issues will you work on during a private session?
It really just depends on how quickly your body is changing and moving through. A lot of people, there's 13 different systems that I generally try to get through. In more of an hour session, I usually get through all of those. But again, if your body has a specific thing like arthritis, you know, we may work on issues that are specific to that and not just do kind of an overall cleaning of everything out and a tuning of everything up. So it really is very specific to your body. And also, remember, I'm using the consciousness of your body. So there's people that will say, you know, I don't really have any particular problems, I just need a tune-up. But I may go in there and there may be scar tissue from old wounds, old injuries. There could be other things that the body really would like to have worked on that's actually going to make you feel 100% better afterwards. So it's just very specific to your body.
Okay, great. Thank you. Another great question. This is from Gayatri. She said, how often do I have to listen to the program to get results?
You will get results instantly while we're on the phone. And if you keep listening to it, again, it really depends on what exactly we worked on. But your body's going to change each and every time. Your body's going to keep morphing and changing, and it may even get to a point where it says, you know what, I don't even require this MP3 anymore because this is done. This is over with. So you can call back for another appointment if you want to work on other things, or you and your body just might be done and it's like, look, I'm all tuned up. So if we go in and we just do a general tune for you, it may be one of these things where once a month you just kind of listen to all of them and make sure everything's all tuned up so that you stay in perfect health. So for right now, for some of the people, you're looking at it as, look, I need to change something because I'm having some disease right now. We will get you to the point where all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're just going to listen to it every once in a while to make sure that we just do maintenance. We stay all tuned up and prevent any issues.
Okay. Some people are commenting and emailing me actually also that they have not received, they bought the package but didn't get any information. Like I said, this is really quite unusual. My notifications are blowing up. So there's a lot of people buying at the same time. So that could be one of the reasons why the autoresponders are a little bit delayed. Also, sometimes your email provider, your service, blocks those receipts, those notifications. So check your spam folders, please. It might have landed in there. Give it a little bit of time. If it still hasn't arrived, you can always email us. Send an email to support@fromheartacheTojoy.com. Our support team will send you the link then, okay? So this is just a lot of people buying at the same time, so it's a little delayed right now. Somebody wants to know if they can buy 3rd of September or a little later. Yes, this package will be open. The offer will be open, so you can. Although I would recommend that you get on as quickly as possible if you're going to be getting the private session, because, of course, that's going to be first come, first served basis. And I can tell you that Lynn's schedule is going to be totally booked. Ooh, this is a great question, which I would have loved to ask, but I totally forgot. How about cellulite, Lynn?
Well, that's all taken care of in that body boost.
Ooh.
Because we go through that body boost, and in the body boost, it's just so yummy because we go through and we're working with the fat cells, and we're either shrinking or plumping them. And then we're going through and we're toning and lifting muscles and working with that fascia, which is that cellulite and cellulite, to change and smooth it over so that it's nice and smooth and not the little bumpies and puckeries. So it's a great way for the body boost.
Okay, great. There's a question from Linda. She didn't write where she's from, but she said she wants to know if you can help her in your session. She has chronic headaches for over 20 years, and medication has not helped her.
Okay. This might be a little strange one, but I think you heard Rhonda say from the beginning that she had this little being that was kind of under her eyes. What if I told you that that was a little being that's causing that problem?
So it's an entity attachment. Yeah, there was another question. Actually, this just got answered. There was someone else. I lost that question, but they had written about an entity attachment as well. And if you read in the description, I think it's on the sales page, that Lynn has the ability to talk to your bodies and entities, and they talk back. So yes, you can release yourself. You can relieve yourself from an entity attachment as well. Okay, this is interesting. Jill says, how long will it take to schedule a private session if I buy a second package as well? How far in advance are you scheduling?
I think the scheduler just goes 2 months out.
Okay. And if we need to add more time, we will, but I knew this was going to have a great response, but I wasn't even prepared for this. So we may have to ask Lynn to open up her schedule a little bit more. But yeah, you should be able to, once you purchase, you can access her scheduler and you can get yourself booked. Okay. I think you answered all of these. This was digestive problems, constipation, fatigue, headaches, skin issues, depression, brain fog, lingering neck pain, extremely numbing, aching joints, self-sabotage. I think she answered all of these as a yes earlier. Okay, wow, this has just been phenomenal. Let me just see if we have any more questions. Okay, let's go. And do you have more time, Lynn? Do you want to talk to a few more people?
Sure. Let's work on some
more.
All right,
let's see where we are now. We've got about 60 plus. So let's do between 1 and 60, please, if you can pick a number for me.
63.
All right, let's do this. It's a Skype caller, so I can't announce any area code. So if you're on Skype, just say hello, and that might be you.
Hello?
Hi there.
Hello.
What's your name?
Hi, my name's Hanie.
Hanie, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Where are you calling from, Hanie?
Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. Okay, awesome. Have you been enjoying the show so far?
Yes, I love it.
I love it too. You know, I was reading an email. Somebody wrote in that they were very emotional when they heard. I can't remember which issue it was, but when scoliosis, I think, when Lynn said she can help with scoliosis, she got tears in her eyes, and I've been feeling that way throughout the call because it's like I'm so excited about the possibility of people receiving this help from Lynn. So it's just been an amazing call. How can Lynn help you, Hanie?
Well, actually, I have a lot of allergy problems. I have sinus problems, but recently, within the last couple of months, I've been having severe anxiety problems to an extent that I actually went to the hospital. They thought I was having a heart attack. So I've just been going to different doctors, you know, testing my heart, my lungs, because I had breathing problems. I'm still being tested for asthma and other things because, you know, I'm having so many problems. I'm on antidepressants, and I'm having problems in my marriage, and, you know, my life is kind of like falling apart. So I would really appreciate if she could scan me and tell me how I can solve this, because I'm thinking that maybe the anxiety is the root of them all, that I'm not able to control. You know, my son just went off to university a couple of days ago. Everything is just so messed up. I mean, my body is not handling it anymore. I get heart palpitations. I kind of forget how to breathe. I feel like I'm suffocating. I mean, I'm just a mess.
All right, Tanya, the stress-free me is really going to help you. So we're going to go through this. So everywhere where you picked up anxiety, everywhere where you learned that was the response, okay, I want you to just think about that. Go to whatever that place is for you. And as you're there, I'm going to do the mind detox wash. as we go through every cell of your body, and literally think of, I call this my Coke can exercise. I'm from Atlanta, so, we have Coca-Cola here. Mm-hmm. It's like every cell literally is going to pop its top, and every cell is just going to release out and dissipate anything that it does not want in that cell, including anxiety, including depression, including toxins, including whatever those thoughts, feelings, and emotions are that you have stored in there. And on top of all of that, we're going to clear out cellular waste, because that's what makes you just feel tired and exhausted from all of this stuff, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start from the top, moving through every cell of the body. Letting every cell, and everybody out there join in here, guys. Every cell in that body, they're all just, every cell is opening like a can. Just dissipating and releasing everything that those cells don't want in there anymore. Moving down to around the nose, the mouth, the chin, down into the neck. Make sure you go all the way around the body and all the way through. We're doing the whole body here, every cell and every organ, moving down across those shoulders, down into those arms. Every cell just opening up. You may even feel like there's stuff coming out the pores of your skin. That's totally fine. Going all the way down those arms, down the forearms, and out the hands. Down the spine and the back, over the breasts and the chest. Moving through every organ, every part of your body, every cell. Moving down. We're following this up with a nice frequency bath and an alkalinity wash afterwards. Keep moving out the cellular waste, all the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, whatever your cells desire to get rid of, moving down the abdomen, down into those hips, down that spine, relaxing every nerve in the body. That frequency bath now coming over, starting at the top. Alkalinity bath right behind it. Moving down into the buttocks and the upper legs. Letting every cell just let whatever it doesn't desire anymore go. Down into those legs, the knees, the calves and shins, the ankles, and the feet. And again, that frequency bath now can feel free to move all the way through, allowing the body to change whatever it desires to change. Now the alkalinity wash, getting rid of any of the acidity left in the body. Adjusting the pH. Let's just go to the nervous system as well one time so we can relax these nerves. Going up the spine, sending a frequency bath down all the nerves, and everywhere where the mechanism is set for high alert, we're changing that mechanism, allowing it all to just take a break and relax. Moving up the spine. Moving up the spine. That's it. Moving up the spine. Up into the neck. And up into the brain. And it's really that nervous system that is grabbing those lungs and making it hard to breathe.
Okay.
Does your body feel a little less stressed now?
Yeah, I felt like I went in a trance, and my body just wants to smile. It was really nice.
Good.
Awesome.
Now you're going to want to do the toxin detox. The liver is backed up, and that's what's actually backing up into your sinuses.
Okay.
So if anybody out there ever gets where you just can't get rid of this sinus thing, most people on the planet, when their liver backs up, it makes their ankles swell and they have a little bit of water retention. But there is a small percentage of us, I'm the same way. If my liver backs up, it goes into the sinuses, and no matter what you take, no matter what you do, you can't seem to get rid of the sinus thing because it's really your liver backing up.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
awesome. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was
Okay, honey. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So this opened up the space for so many people. I was going to announce that, Ben, you are next. I don't see you anymore, though. If you hung up, please call back because they had requested, that was somebody that had requested a healing for their son, Ben, and for pancreas, and he's gone now. But if you are back within a couple of minutes, I'll unmute you and you can talk to Lynn. In the meantime, I need to ask some more questions. Okay, this is from Carolina, and she wants to know, Lynn, what could you do for my husband, Michael, that has a transplanted kidney that works for 60%, and he has high blood pressure, and all the medicines he has to take daily are really making him sicker?
Yeah, that's a very common thing with all the drugs. Now, remember, I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose. I cannot prescribe. I cannot tell you when to go on or off your medicine. So that's something that, you have to make personal decisions for all of that. I can tell you that using frequencies can change a lot going on with the kidneys. Had a client who, was in stage 4. They were getting ready to put her on dialysis. She had a month to try to change something. And by doing this process, we moved her from stage 4 back to stage 2, and she never had to go to dialysis. So changing kidneys on a frequency basis is pretty simple to do. It's not a problem. We can go through and we can clean out all of the toxins that these chemicals are causing in the body. And, at that point, what I suggest with a lot of people is that they go to the doctor, just like Lee did, how she knew that she had these problems with STDs, remnants in there, and liver problems from hepatitis. And so kind of where the baseline is, and then we can do some work together, and then I always suggest that you go back. I don't ever suggest you really change any of that until you go back, because a lot of times the doctors will note that, hey, something's changed. We need to change your prescriptions, right? So the doctor will notice those things and be able to change prescriptions.
Okay, I want to address, thank you for answering that. Bernadine wrote in, she said, my session with Lynn was so amazing. She had that on-call session with you, and she said, my body is still buzzing. She bought the package, and she's looking forward to her session. She's having some issues getting the appointment set. Yeah, go ahead and just email our support team, Bernadine, and we'll forward that to Lynn and get you set up. Some other people wanted to know if getting a session with you, Lynn, is going to interfere with their medical treatment that they are already on. That's a great question, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be a personal basis. Again, with cancer, I don't generally do it while they're on chemo or on radiation. And just like I just mentioned, I'm going to suggest if you are on lots of medications or have particular things going on, like when I work on people with thyroid a lot of times, if they're on a high dose of thyroid medication, I'll work on them, and then I'll tell them to pay extra attention to what some of the symptoms are when you have too much of the thyroid medication in you. And most of the time, they end up going back to the doctor to have blood work done again because they are having those symptoms. And then when the doctor goes, wait a minute, something changed, we need to lower your dosage. And then usually he'll ask, well, what changed and how did you change it? Then usually the person will say, well, I had this so-and-so person work on me energetically, and the doctors are usually pretty amazed. So that happens quite frequently, especially with thyroid. So it really is going to depend on what the particular issue is and what medications you're talking about. But as far as I'm concerned, no, nothing really will interfere with medical treatment as long as it's not the cancer problem I was talking about.
And it's pretty simple if you guys think about it. This is organic energy, and your body is wiser than you realize. It's really, really smart. It understands, and it can self-heal as long as the energy gets adjusted. So it's not going to harm itself. It's going to work with whatever, the energy is going to work with your body. It's intelligent. So that's the beauty of it. I did want to ask you, Lynn, because we didn't really talk about it in this call. This call was meant to be for people that have physical issues, physical ailments, and we really wanted to focus on that. But you can actually help people with emotional issues as well, ranging from grief, like you helped another caller, grief and loneliness, sadness, even issues with depression and things like that. So can you touch on that briefly? Because there's a lot of people now asking for that can she help me with anxiety, stress, and what about grief, or addictive behaviors ranging from substance abuse to abusive relationships. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, especially the addiction one. Coming out next for me after all of this is we're going to be developing MP3s for things like addictions and the cravings, for cigarettes, for alcohol, for particular substances, and for particular diseases like arthritis, neuropathy. So to be specific for those. So they're actually going into the cells of the body and releasing those thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are holding that addiction in place. Can be done. So it's a wonderful process. So the same kinds of things that will be on those MP3s are what starts in the Mind Detox one that we're offering here, as well as what we're going to do in the private sessions, is to go in and see what exactly those are that are holding in your cells and releasing them so that you can be free.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for addressing that. Okay, let's go and talk to Ben, whose mom has been listening to our show, and she pulled Ben in to talk to you because he has some kind of pancreatic issues, I believe. Okay, Ben, you are on. Can you hear me?
There you go, Ben. Hello.
Hi
hey, Ben.
there. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You are so welcome. Welcome to the show. I believe this is your first time on, right?
Correct.
Awesome. So if you can just quickly tell, maybe in a couple of sentences, what's bothering you.
Originally, I've been dealing with a seizure disorder for over 31 years. That's the main concern. It'll either go through the day or even through the evening, and it's every day nonstop.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dive in. You ready, Ben?
All right.
All right, so the first place it's taking me is your brain, and we're going to build some new neural pathways. What it's showing me is, like, in the brain, it's almost like it keeps trying to go certain pathways that have been disrupted by something, and so we're going to build neural...
Injury.
I'm sorry?
That was the cause of a head injury about 12 years ago.
Okay, and so we're going to build new pathways around where those blockages or lesions are so that it no longer has to hit those, because when it hits those, that's what's causing those seizures. So you might feel this weird tingling going on in your head. And actually, I do this exercise all the time, even for myself, because the way that you can have all kinds of new awarenesses and new talents and new everything is to build new motor pathways, autonomic pathways in your brain. So we're going to go ahead and build some new ones here. So I'm just moving through the brain, and anywhere where there's anything that's blocking from this accident or anything else, we're going to go ahead and build new neural pathways around it. And there's also a little bit of functionality disarray between the right and the left hemispheres, which we're going to adjust as well. anybody's head feel kind of itchy and tingly like mine?
If anything, vibration down the spine.
Good. See, and it's funny, this is what I was talking about, how everybody's body is different. Literally, what I'm doing to his brain right now is like a finger massage. My fingers are just moving and massaging all these different parts of his brain. Haven't done this on any client ever before. So it's like every body has its own consciousness, and it just shows me this is what is required to make this change. And whatever that is, I'm just willing to be or do. And now I'm diving to kind of the interior of the brain and doing it from the inside. So all the mechanisms that fire everything else in the body, all the other nerves in the body, we're just making sure that all of those are online and flowing properly. And it's spending a lot of time in the back region, which is your eyes. Do you have any particular thing going on with your eyes?
Yes. I've had unusual seizures. Best way to describe it, it feels like you're having your eyes spooned out.
Interesting. So this is one of the bigger places that it's really wanting me to work on.
I can feel a lot of pressure right now in that spot.
Mm-hmm. And so while I'm doing this, we're going to just let a nice alkalinity bath go over the whole body. So anywhere where any of these blockages are creating any kind of acidity in the body. See, sometimes the body wants to change, like those blockages, and other times it just says, you know what, it's just easier to create something new and go around it. So it's all using the consciousness and intelligence of your body. So we're going to have this alkalinity wash move over the body, move through the brain, just easing it. Calming it all. Moving all the way through the brain, down the face, down the neck, over the shoulders and down into the chest, down those arms and out the hands, down the abdomen, through the hips, down the legs, and out the feet. All righty, well, keep in touch and let us know how you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Are you feeling any relief? Are you feeling better, Ben?
Slightly lighter.
Good, good. Keep us posted, okay? Let us know how this progresses for you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in, and again, welcome to the show. Take care.
Thanks, Ben.
Awesome. Okay, I received a notice that we actually are pretty close to going through all the packages that you had, Lynn. So what we're going to need to do probably in a few hours from here is that the price is going to go up to $197 because we are going to exhaust all of the sessions we had. So just want to make sure everybody understands. Package B price will go up to $197. I thought we would actually last till the weekend, but like I said, it's been just blowing up. So if you want to take advantage of it, you have time right now because my support team is not here yet, the one that works with the cart. So you have a few hours. And if you're wondering whether the price is $197 or $147, once you click on the link, you'll see the price. So once it's gone up, it's going to be gone up. So we are already pretty much exhausted with all the sessions we had. And so the $147 package will go up to $197. And,
after the call, Iram, I'll open up some more times. And especially for anybody international, if the times don't work for you, please email me, and we'll figure out what's going to work.
Awesome.
To make sure that the international callers get in.
Okay, that's great. So congratulations to those of you that already bought their packages, that are already in. Of course, your price remains the same, and if you happen to click on the link and it is still showing up as $147, that's cool. That means you can still get in, but the price will go up to $197 here within a couple of hours, by midnight for sure tonight. Okay. The one on weight loss, yes, she already, it's in the packages. You can do weight loss, or you can experience weight loss as you do the different cleanses. So yeah, Lynn has those. And I guess if somebody has a particularly stubborn weight issue like obesity, they could work during the private session on that as well, right?
As well, and remember, within the 5 packages, you have that endocrine happy hormones, and a lot of people that have large weight problems like that, a lot of times their endocrine system is not tuned up. So if you do the 5 and really get that body singing, and then you also do that body boost, it will just really trim that down.
Okay. Beautiful. Then Sayuri said the last the 2 people you were working on, I asked the energy to go through me, and in fact, I felt all the energies that really possible. Yes, Sayuri, I think you joined us a little late. This was announced earlier in the call that the energy is working for everybody as long as you are open to receiving it. Then somebody said, can Lynn help a person if they do not want to heal subconsciously? So they're consciously saying they want to heal, but they don't want to heal subconsciously. That's an interesting question.
You know, that is depending on them, because there are plenty of people that, you know, they don't have to know what I do, they don't even have to believe in what I do, and the change is there and it's instantaneous. But there have been a few people where either they are resisting the change because they don't actually desire to choose that change, kind of like what we talked about earlier, where you have to choose to be in this body and to be on this planet. And then once you make that choice, we can make all kinds of changes for you. So sometimes you run into that, but not very often. And remember, this can be done remotely, and the person doesn't even have to necessarily know that they're being worked on. I work on plenty of people in that regard. Now, for any of you who might go, wait a minute, you need to ask permission, I don't necessarily operate from permission, because the person's either going to choose to receive this energy or not.
Awesome.
So for me, I'm going to go ahead and send it. You know, it's just like when an ambulance drives by your office, I just instantly go, okay, I send whatever energy they require. Did I ask permission to do that? No. The person's either going to say, yes, please, thank you, I'm receiving this, or they're just going to bounce it off to somebody else in the universe who requires it.
Wow. You know, Lynn, I have to read you this email. This is the email that had come. This was not a comment. This was an email that came through. This was about the person that was listening to you talking about scoliosis and stuff. This was Eileen Custer. And so she received the energy, and she just wrote in and said, Iram and Lynn, this is totally amazing. I'm walking better already. I'm totally blown away by this. Wow. I am so excited. She didn't even talk to you. She was just a listener. Wow.
It's very interesting, this energy. It's like as soon as a body starts asking questions, it's like the energies just start turning on.
Wow.
So that's your body's saying, I'm willing to receive this, and it just, bam. So this is about you guys. What are you guys willing to receive, guys? What do you want to change, and what are you willing to receive?
Wow. Just amazing. Amazing. Okay, some people are panicking because they're saying they have some kind of a problem with the cart. It's not letting them go through. Please email us. I will be here. My support team will be here. We'll make sure that you get in on that prize. If there's an issue with the cart, usually it's your system, it's your browser that's blocking it. A lot of times using a different browser really helps. If you have Google Chrome, that really helps. So, go back, use Google Chrome, and then go to the sales page and try to check out that way. If none of that is working, just email us, and we can take the payment over the phone as well. Yes, if PayPal credit option is not working for you, please go ahead and use your credit card or which other option you want to use, okay? Connie wants to know, are there any side effects that one can expect by listening to the MP3?
Probably the biggest one that I hear about is maybe a slight headache from so much of that 5-pack of the 5 main ones is detoxing the body. We're getting rid of inflammation, toxins, yeast. So sometimes people will have whatever type of symptom you might have from doing a detox afterwards. So if you get a slight headache, drink a lot of water, ask your body, what do you require? And even if you feel like you're not getting information from your body, if all of a sudden your body tells you to eat 10 cherries or 8 grapes, just do that, because there's something about that that's going to ease what's going on with your body.
Okay, awesome. That's beautiful. Lynn, we are out of time. Didn't even realize, but we are about to be cut off. Thank you so much. This has just been phenomenal. This has been an amazing call, and thank you so much for your generosity and your huge heart in wanting to help so many people. This is going to be totally amazing. And I want to encourage our listeners to go ahead and take advantage of Lynn's amazing offer. Even if the price goes up to $197, it is still a phenomenal deal, because you can, you can, even if you count the amount of money you've spent on different medications on trying to cure these issues, it's a no-brainer. So I encourage you guys to take advantage of this phenomenal healers offer, and also share this with as many people as you can. Imagine how many people can be helped through this. I'm not sure how long Lynn can keep the offer open. It's going to be open for our listeners for sure, even with the higher price, but for a limited time, because there's only so many appointments she can take. But her package A is phenomenal as well. That is something that everybody can use. We can all use those different detoxes and frequency cleanups. And I encourage you guys to share her information by sharing the link for the replay page on Facebook or however you want to share it. But, this is going to be paying forward. This is a huge service for everybody. And, again, I want to thank our listeners that interacted with us. You guys held the space beautifully for so many others to receive the healing. And you guys are awesome. You are phenomenal. I am just so proud of you guys, and I'm thrilled that this has been received so well by you guys, because I'm honestly getting teared up again and again when I'm reading your comments, how you are already feeling the relief. This is just phenomenal. Lynn, last 2 minutes, what is, you want to just leave us with some comments? Just 1 minute.
I just want to thank you so much for having me on, and for everybody out there, health is something that can be achieved. Please don't give up. This can be a lot easier if you're just willing to go there. And, I would love to help as many people as I can. Remember, this is really the consciousness of your body that is doing this. I'm just tapping into that and how we can change it. And you can work with that energy yourself. And so I really, really hope that you guys are willing to choose that. And remember, life is Play-Doh, guys. If you don't like what you've created, whether that's health or your business or your relationships or whatever, all you got to do is laugh at it, smash it, and create something new.
Love it. That is beautiful. I love that philosophy. And I'm going to close with a comment from Donna, and she said, Iram, I really like Lynn and her method. She totally rocks. I'm at work as usual, glum as usual, but her voice is just so refreshing. Way to go, guys. Iram, she is yet another winner healer. Great job, and thanks so much. Wonderful. Thank you, Donna, for that beautiful comment. Yeah. Awesome. Love you guys lots. Take care, and keep us posted on your results. Lots of love.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.